Over the years, Meghan Markle has revealed several of her favorite recipes and drinks, many of them on her lifestyle blog, the Tig. But one dish, casually mentioned in an interview, caught my eye for how ludicrously simple it seemed to be. I'm not alone. Dozens of bloggers have tried to recreate the Duchess of Sussex's recipe, often with their own spin, but I had to see for myself whether the bizarre sauce really was any good. In an interview with Delish, Meghan said she slow cooks zucchini, or courgettes, to use the British and therefore correct term, for 4 to 5 hours, creating a filthy, sexy mush, which she serves with pasta. The sauce gets so creamy, you'd swear there's tons of butter and oil in it, but it's just zucchini, water and a little bouillon, the Duchess said. And the internet reacted with a collective, "That's it. That's all there is to it. That's actually nice." Well, it turns out she may be onto something. Now, it's worth keeping in mind that when Meghan mentioned this dish it was in the middle of an interview and she didn't appear to go into further details, so we don't know the exact recipe she uses. Many Sussex fans who have attempted to recreate this pasta sauce have felt the need to add a few bits and bobs to it, typically onions and garlic. This makes complete sense. However, I was keen to make it with the absolute basics, just as Meghan, intended. I stuck to nothing but courgettes, water, and a bouillon cube, an ingredients list that makes this a very cheap meal. What is immediately apparent is just how easy this dish is to make. The only part requiring any effort was right at the beginning, when you have to chop up about 5 courgettes, which took 10 minutes and only a few nearly lost appendages. I cut the veg into small chunks, aware that the plan was to break them down into a tasty sauce. Then it was just a case of chucking them in a pot with about 250 milliliters of water, what Americans would call a cup, and the bouillon cube. I used vegetable, but imagine chicken would work just as well, before covering with a lid and putting on a low heat to slow cook. The hardest part, actually, is finding something to do for the next 5 hours. Happily, for those really looking to get in the mood, this happens to be close to the exact runtime of Harry and Meghan's entire Netflix documentary, with the dish ready just in time for the last episode. Perfect. I largely left the pot untouched throughout, only occasionally lifting the lid and prodding it as though fearful of what monster I was creating. All went smoothly, though, quite literally. After some encouragement, the courgettes eventually dissolved into the filthy mush I had been promised. Become an Express Premium member. Support fearless journalism. Read the Daily Express online. Advert free. Get super fast page loading. Start 30-day free trial. The sexy part, however, remained to be seen. I prepared some pasta in the normal way, gently seasoned the sauce, and gave it a whirl. Now, you could be forgiven for looking at the final product and thinking, that looks like it's already been eaten. This was my reaction as well. But don't be deceived, it's actually fantastic. It really does taste wonderfully creamy and wholesome, while needing no actual butter or cream, making it healthy, vegan, and easy on both your conscience and your wallet. It is at once herby, satisfying, and very light. When I had finished scoffing my first portion, I immediately went to get another. The meal definitely needs a dash of seasoning to help bring the flavors out, but with that, you have a simple dish that nonetheless satisfied the food cravings I had built up after 5 hours of simmering royal drama. Fry up some onion and garlic at the start if you want, but frankly it isn't necessary. The sheer simplicity is part of the meal's charm. It was something of a revelation that you could make something so creamy and delicious by doing nothing more than heating up some veg in a dash of water for 5 hours. Meghan recommended it as a summer dish, and you can see just how this breezy meal would be perfectly paired with a freshly mown lawn, a long sunset, and chilled glass of wine, rosé, if you want to emulate the Duchess to the last detail. However, in my view, Its hearty goodness also makes it an easy and very cheap meal to warm up an icy winter evening. Meghan was spot on. This is a mind-blowingly simple meal that really is both filthy and sexy.